Seint's new products are, first off, they come in this. If you get the whole like big kit, I think you can get everything individually, but they are selling like a big collection that you get the 20 aisle palette, and look at them. They're called pressed pigments. They can be used, some of them can be used for eyeshadow, but it's advised that some of these more highly pigmented ones, like these two, I believe, and some of these more red ones, the pigment is so strong that it can stain like the very gentle skin of your eyelid. So it's advised to maybe avoid that. The way I would recommend doing it is put a base of like other eyeshadows on, and then you could top that on those eyeshadows so it's not directly touching your skin. In fact, everything's going to be sold individually, but if you get the whole kit, the reason I have some spots missing is one of mine, which is the shade, it's one of my favorite shades I'm so excited to try, is Honeymoon. It came smashed, so I messaged customer service and a new one should be on its way, but that one would go probably like right around here. And then another color that you guys have seen me play with, which came out for the UK launch, which is Baker Street, that also I believe should be a part of this collection, but they weren't able to add it into this collection but by the time they wanted to launch this, so hopefully we see that in the future. Its place, it did come with one of these brush cleaning tiles, which is basically just like a little tile that you can take your brush on and just wipe off any excess product that might be on it so that you can go and dip into another color without having it like transfer over. More things I want to mention that you guys should be excited about. If you purchase on the 17th to the 18th, you're going to get this little guy right here, which is Lucky, for free with your purchase. So that's super exciting. And go through this. The reason they're called pressed pigments and not eyeshadows is because they are so highly pigmented. And now that we've gone international, there's certain laws and rules for highly pigmented eyeshadows being used for eyeshadows, just because they basically have the ability to stain if used without like a base or anything like that. And these are highly pigmented, but they're so multi-purpose use. Like all of the stuff from Seint is multi-purpose use. So it came out with a new brush, which I'm so excited about. It's called like the Endpoint brush, but it's like these finer detailing pieces. So if you've seen like the trends of like creating faux freckles and stuff like that, this is going to be so helpful. This is going to be such an amazing brush for using with like our Demi products, like putting Demi like right there on that scar that I like to use it for. So many different things. So let's get started with playing. Definitely want to create an eyeshadow look, I think, with using some of these more neutral colors and maybe adding a pop of some of the deeper tones. But first I want to play around with using one of these like more soft corally colors for like just adding onto my cheek. I want to see how it finishes. So I'm going to use this color, which I think is called Coral. Yep, this one's called Coral. I'm just going to tap in with my bright brush. Just grab a little bit. Again, so pigmented, so let's tap off some of that excess. But let's just see what adding this to the cheeks looks like. And you could totally put like, maybe I'll do it on the other side of like a cream blush first and then use this like powder pigment to set. Oh, that's really pretty. So again, this is the color Coral. And that looks really pretty. That's so pretty. So that's Coral. Looks like just swatched by itself. So pretty. But now I'm going to grab some balm. Grab our balm. This stuff is amazing. Its first ingredient is castor oil. It's really great for hydrating the under eyes. But I'm going to take a little bit of this, and I'm not going to dip straight into my pigments because I don't want to like mess them up, but I'm going to actually just see what this does. I'm going to put it on the wrist first and grab back into Coral and try and go right on top of it and see how that adds like an insane amount more of pigment. It's kind of like when you guys see me licking my brush, it's like adding that wetness to your product just builds that pigment up so much more. Kind of accidentally got a little bit right there, but you guys can see the difference that it makes when you add a little bit of balm. Will all be available to you guys on the 17th. So stay tuned throughout this week while we play around with like swatching some of these. I'm not going to do every single one today. I think we should just get into creating a look with them and see what we can come up with. I want to see on this side what it looks like if I was to do my normal blush. I love mixing Frenchie with sandstone. So we're going to do that with just the cream blush first and then see what it looks like topping with Coral on the cream blush. So if I'm assuming correctly, it's just going to make it look that much more pigmented, but definitely set it even more. So it's just going to look a little bit more intense. So we shall see. Without adding Coral yet, it already is like much more pigmented. I have effed up by doing too much, so I'm going to tap a little bit on the back of my hand first. Yeah, we've got a lot of pigment here. So as you guys know, I'm not like a huge pigmenty gal, but it looks very pretty. Like the finish is so gorgeous. And I'm not like a powder person too. So I'm really loving how, that's the thing that I've noticed is it's because they're so pigmented too. They're not dry. They can get really hydrated like right when they touch your skin. And that's what's going to be amazing about putting these on top of the cream, because once it touches the cream, instead of it looking like dry and powdery, it's going to still set it nicely. But you can see here, it just creates this beautiful like glowy finish. Like I can only imagine how pretty that would be like once you put like illuminator on top. So I'm just going to use whatever's left over here. I'm not even gonna bother putting cream on this side because this is already like nice and pigmented. But how cool is that? Like, can easily top on your products, but even if it, like, this has no cream blush on underneath, this is it by itself. Super gorgeous. Play around with that on my lips really quick too. So I'm gonna take my lip liner. This is the SWEED lip liner in the shade Dream Bigger. I think this will look beautiful with that coral color. So let's try that. If you guys want links for all the stuff that I'm playing around with today, just go ahead and comment the word match and just click on the Shop My IG feed and find the picture of me with, like, I'll probably have like the pigments up or something. And you can click on that and all the links for all the stuff I'm playing around with today will be there. Try this out. Instead of adding the moisture with the balm, I love putting the Seint Diamonds Are Forever lipstick on. It's like, that's beautiful as it is. Let's add a little bit of the coral color. Just gonna tap a little bit on my finger. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. Look at that, how fun. Now you can do this and then you can add color by like grabbing one of these options. Again, I'm not gonna grab in with the side that has any product on it just because I don't want to make these like oily. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my God, these are so fun. Obviously these are all like mattes, so there's no shimmers. I'll pick a shimmer out of the other stuff that I have, but we're literally going to use all of these like more neutral yellow browns. I'm a little scared, but we're gonna see what we can create. So we're gonna first start out with this color right here, which is Daisy. And I'm gonna just tap with my, see, like, it's so much pigment, so we gotta be a little careful. Tap off any excess, and I'm gonna just use this to create a base on the eyelid. So we'll do just one eye on here, and then I'll create a shorter video to do the other eye, just so if you guys don't wanna watch through this entire video. So just taking Daisy. As you can see, it looks so much lighter in here, but once you start putting it on the eyelid, wild how much pigment it has. This would be beautiful if you have a lot of like purple discoloration on the eyelid and you don't want to put a lot of product on the eye. You could use something like these yellows to really counterbalance any purples in the eyelid. Forgot to take off the film for the mirror. Let's do it together. So satisfying. So that's Daisy all by itself. Beautiful color. I'm scared of what's going to Dandelion. Tap that. Again, whoa, very pigmented. So we're going to tap off any excess, and we're going to go just a little bit lower, but still trying to get it like on that arch. This is going to just, this brighter yellow is going to kind of give, like, whenever you look at someone's eyeshadow, you can already see it happening here. It gives this like glowing effect. So whenever anyone's like confused by like, how would I use these colors? This is not necessarily something that you just, you know, you don't have to think of it like, oh, I need to put yellow on my eye. But if you're mixing it with more neutral shades, like this with Bubba would be so gorgeous. You can kind of create this sunlit effect where it's like, it's making the eye look like it's kind of glowy. So just a little bit of Dandelion there. Color like this, if say you have a lot of purpling discoloration on like the lower lash line, wash a little bit of that under there and that will help neutralize that purple in a very natural way. So again, now you can see we've got Daisy and Dandelion. It's I can kind of recognize. So this is Santa Fe. It looks like it's like a beautiful warm brown. So we're gonna grab a little bit of that and we're gonna start pressing this on like the outer corner. Because again, these are very pigmented. Like our Seint eyeshadows are already extremely pigmented, but these are like our normal shadows on crack. So like, look at that pigment that's picking up right there. Santa Fe is gorgeous. That's gonna be one of my favorites, like used for everything. A little on that lower lash line. So pretty. See, this one's not necessarily darker. This is more muted. This is Cowboy. This would be a gorgeous, like, kind of just base color, but I'm going to use it to just add a little bit of neutralizing to the warmth of Santa Fe. It's kind of like a gray taupe brown, but just patting that on there. And as you can see, it's like kind of just creating this really different kind of like brown. So like this with like a true gold shimmer, like Stardust or something like that, like where it's like almost bronzed and not too yellow or anything. It's almost just more, you'll see when I decide to pick a shade, but this gives such a beautiful, like natural kind of desert vibe. Call me crazy, I might mess this whole look up, but I kind of want to play with this deep green called Juniper. So I'm going to lick my brush just a little bit and just kind of go in the outer corner of it. Just grab a little bit of that. Again, super freaking pigmented. So we're going to just take that color Juniper and stick along the lash line. Almost using it as like an eyeliner, but just a little bit of depth on that outer corner. Oh my God, I love it. Oh my God, I love this color. So notice how I'm still just tapping. Like I might have used a little too much product. I'm getting used to just how insanely pigmented these are. But we're gonna go very light-handed at first just to get all that pigment off. And then we'll blend it out and soften it up. I did put a little on that like lower lash line. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna go back into that muted cowboy color. I'm gonna tap off any excess and I'm gonna just press on top of that juniper color. And then we'll do a little bit of like swirly motions, similar to how like when we're blending out our cream makeup, we're just kind of tapping to like soften any harsh edges. A lot of times with eyeshadows, people make the mistake of like just going ham with like too much blending. It's like, you don't need to go that crazy. Like just be very, if you have good quality brushes, they should just do all the work for you. Very minimal swiping needed, just softening. Oh my God, I love it. Add a shimmer, and what I meant again, like a natural tone is like, see this Stardust, it looks more natural compared to like a warmer one like this, which is, it's actually a limited edition color called Ember, which is still gold, but it's like a much browner, yellowish gold. So I think I'm gonna grab into that one, Stardust. We're gonna just put that on the inner corner. Oh, freaking pretty. All right, now we'll just add some mascara, the Seint Lash Velvet. Look at what my lashes look like before and after. This mascara is like the best. And before we end, I actually want to see what using the new brush with Santa Fe and a little bit of cowboy looks like, creating like little faux freckles. Good gravy, this stuff is pigmented. Look at that. So just kind of stamping that in different spots. And then I'll just take my finger. Kind of tap it out. But how fun. This is going to be an awesome brush for getting like small details. Cute. One more thing. I want to take this deeper shade Ladybug very lightly, and I'm going to just put it up higher on the cheekbone just to see how pretty this color is. Oh, the tiniest amount goes such a long way. And these are so beautiful in pigment. These are going to last you a long freaking time too. That's what I love too about Seint stuff is going to last you years. So that's a lot of pigment there. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to kind of neutralize it. I'm actually going to see if one of these will help neutralize it. I'm going to grab a little bit of Daisy. Let's just see what adding a little Daisy and Dandelion on top of that red does. Ooh, it gives it like this beautiful kind of more orangey tone. Gorgeous. I'm going to do that on the other side too. I cannot believe how these are powders, but they're going on just so smooth. Like this is going to be so fun for the summertime and for springtime, as you can just add such a beautiful amount of pigment and color to the skin without it having to be like heavy, or obviously when you're sweating, like sometimes a powder, if you're more oily, can be like a little bit more forgiving. Oh my God, it's so fun. All right, guys, I'm going to go finish this eye on another video, but I hope that you guys had fun watching me play around with the new pressed pigments from Seint. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you're excited about, if you think these are going to be something you're going to grab, and if so, do you want to grab the whole collection, just one or two? Let me know any of your questions as well, because I can create some content while you're waiting, because today is the 12th. If you're seeing this video now, this is when I can announce that this is coming to you guys. Again, these are going to be available for you guys as customers to purchase 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on March 17th. So I think that's St. Patrick's Day. And again, anyone who purchases on the 17th through the 18th is going to get lucky for free with their purchase. So that's super exciting. But let me know in the comment section what you guys want to see more of, so that I can be sure to create tutorials for you guys leading up to the 17th. So you can be 100% on board with either grabbing them or deciding that it's a pass for you. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.